Hey guys, Root22 here, and this is the first video that I put out in about 2 years. My channel used to be basically all Yu-Gi-Oh! Related. I had since recently gotten out of the game and wanted to start streaming for a bit and just have fun with that. I have been going through... I've been watching a lot of competitive Hearthstone recently. I play the game casually, but I know how the inner workings, how all the decks work, how the meta works, and all that. What this video is going to tell you guys today is why I think, and I think that a lot of other pros might think it, is why I'm not considering myself a pro, but why Priest is probably the best deck at the moment, the best class to play. And yeah, let's just get started. So basically, when I don't even have League of Explorers, but when LOE came out, and Tomb really brought Priest up to the standard of being really good. I think Priest is about 1 or 2 cards away from being like absolutely unbeatable if nothing gets nerfed, and one of those cards being an armor card that gives them an ability to play around Alexstrasza, play around Burst, something around an Armor Smith type card, which I hope they never get. The class already is really boring to play against. It's really boring. It's kind of pretty boring to play. It's just not fun to play for a 30-minute game that goes to fatigue. I just don't think that's rather fun. I'm exaggerating with 30 minutes, by the way. 10 minutes is more like it. Where you're playing Control Priest versus Control Priest, or Control Priest versus Control Warrior, which Warrior will always lose, so they should just concede. But just those games that go into fatigue are not worth it. But if Priest just gets better and better, I think that it can just explode and destroy the metagame all in itself. So what did Priest receive in the last couple expansions? They received the ability to play dragons. They got Wormrose Sage and they got Twilight Whelp. I don't think many Dragon Priests play Twilight Whelp anymore. It's just not worth it. You can play Zombie Chow, especially with Auchenai, and that's what it is. And the only good thing about Twilight Whelp is it's a dragon to proc your Blackwing Corruptors, your Blackwing Technicians, which they don't even run, Twilight Guardian, Wormrust Agent, all that. They got I don't think they got Wormrust Agent out of Black Rat Mountain. No, they got it out of the Grand Tournament. So not only did they get Twilight Rope, they also got Villains, right? No, never mind. So the only good thing they got out of Black Rock Mountain, class specific, is Twilight Whelp, but a lot of the dragon cards that are neutral are mainly for priests, just because of them getting the extra priest, the extra dragon synergies with Blackwing Technician, even Dragon King the Sorcerer with Felon's Chosen, or any Power Word Shield and whatnot, Blackwing Corruptor, all that. Twilight Guardian. I don't know most of the cards, but even Crow Magus in Priest is really good. Just because your power, if you go on turn 9, you Crow Magus, Power Word Shield, you get 2 cards off of it. Just a lot of value. So then once, I don't want to actually make a deck. So once the Grand Tournament came out, just because I don't have many cards. Okay, there we go. So they got Wormrust Agent that completely buffs their how Dragon Priests play. They have a better way of dealing with aggro, except just playing Zombie Chow. Now you have a 2/4 on turn 2. They got Flash Heal for extra like quick burst healing, so they can sustain those aggro matchups. And then they just get a bunch of like garbage in the way. Holy Champion is kind of good. In Control Priest, you can play like one of them, and you can possibly combo with Circle of Healing and get some attack. And maybe burst your bone down. And then League of Explorers came out, right? Oh wait, yeah, League of Explorers came out, and shit. Oh, I need to go under golden cards. Okay. League of Explorers came out and they got Entomb. You think of it like an Assassinate, right? You're paying 5 mana. In this case, you're playing 6 mana to destroy the creature. But not only that, you put it into your opponent. You put it in your own deck, which makes your control matchup really good. You take their big creatures, you put it in your deck, and now you have big creatures to work with. And also, you have 1 extra card in the fatigue game, and when they hit fatigue faster, and they deal more damage to themselves faster. They also got Museum Curator. I think it's the only class-specific discover card at the moment. Creature, at least. Raven Idol is for Druid. You have this guy, for Priest, a 2-drop, which Priest really needs to work with the early game, and you can discover any Death Rattle creature. And normally, since you're playing this on turn 2, you can discover you don't even need to play Dark Cultist. You can discover Dark Cultist, you can discover Horror's Golem, you can discover Sneeds, and then Fugan or Stalag. The 4/7, I think it's Fugan, the better one. Just really good off the Museum Curator. They just have all these ways to deal with all these different matchups now, especially with all their different board clears. They can deal with Aggro, Holy Nova, Alkali Circle. They have Light Bomb, which is really good. They have Shadow Word Death and Entomb to deal with these larger minions. They have Cabal Shadow Priest and Shrinkmeister to deal with like Malagos, Ysera, all that, along with Entomb, right? So I just want to go over some of their matchups and why they're really good, why Priest is really good against them. So you have Hunter. Hunter's probably the worst deck to play at the moment. They just haven't gotten anything good in the past couple of expansions that really boost them up to being a good deck. So we have the regular Face Hunter, which isn't played in tournaments that much. You mainly see it on ladder to climb to rank 5, and even now, Face Hunter just doesn't have what it used to be able to climb up the ladder that fast. Now you're looking at Face Shaman, you're looking at this new Egg Druid that everybody's playing. You have Secret Paladin, which is really good to climb ladder with. But so basically, Priest now has the ability to beat almost any Hunter matchup. You're playing Zombie Child, you're playing Museum Courier, you're playing a couple of these 1 and 2 drops, right? Whether you're playing Control Priest or you're playing Dragon Priest, both work really good against Hunter and Aggro together. Hybrid Hunter, you really don't see that anymore. It was really good around the introduction of TGT, and now it just sort of fell off the face of the planet. And then you have mid-range Hunter, which plays Savannah Highmanes. You're playing Dr. Boom in it. You're playing Sludge Belchers and Shredders, which you did play in Hybrid, but mid-range just focuses on like some 7 and 8 drops, and then less 1 and 2 drops. I don't think you play Leopard Gnome anymore in mid-range. But Priest just has way too many ways to deal with it, with their various war clears. They have their burst healing through Flash Heal. They have the ability to just death Savannah Highmane, and then just easily clear the two 2/2s that Savannah Highmane drops just with some various minions that they have, and then heal the minions back up, and then they're just playing the value game. Hunter never has a chance to rush them down. They run out of steam too early now. No card draw, all that. The main problem that Priest does have in this meta is they are very subject to classes that burst them down in one turn, right? With the introduction of Tomb Pillager for Rogue, Miracle Rogue has become essential. It's become relevant again. You're playing your gadgets in. Some of them are playing Malagos to play Sinister Strike, Eviscerate after they get their Emperor Thorzan off. And Priest kind of has some trouble with that. If they don't have their taunt set up, they get them sacked back to their hand. But that's if you're playing Dragon Priest. If you're playing Control Priest, you play Justicar, and if the Rogue does not kill you, you end up just healing, Justicar healing. Maybe you're playing Thorzan in the deck, and you get your Flash Heal to 0, and you just Flash Heal yourself. So you gained like 12 health in that one turn, and then the Rogue uses all their resources. They use their Eviscerates, they use their Sinister Strikes. Now you're back at 20, and the Rogue can't deal with it. But Rogue is probably, especially before Priest got any more healing cards, Rogue was probably Priest's worst matchup. I don't think it's that bad anymore, but we'll see how it turns out. You won't see many Rogue versus Priest matchups anymore, just because Miracle not as good in pro play. I know RDU's bringing it back, and he's starting to, like I said, be relevant again. But you do see it a lot on ladder now. Tomb Pillager is just a really good card. We won the Paladin. This would probably be better. Here we go. We move on to Paladin now. You have your Secret Paladin, right? It has probably the ability to get the best curve in the game with Minibot, Muster for Battle, Shredder, Sludge Belcher, Mysterious Challenger, and the Boom or Tyrion. Like that's actually it's just super broken. But Priest has the ability to and Priest does run, I believe, one big game here. So you have the ability to deal with Mysterious Challenger as soon as they play it. You attack, they get the Noble Sacrifice proc, and then it's really easy with Priest to eliminate just everything that Mysterious Challenger does with 1 or 2 cards, whether it be Death, or Death and a minion to attack with, or Death and Big Game Hunter, because you proc the Noble Sacrifice, the Avenge hits the Mysterious Challenger, you Big Game, or you Death the Mysterious Challenger, and then they have this competitive spirit that only goes on to the Noble Sacrifice token that was brought back by Redemption. So they used all these resources. They're farther into the fatigue game. They took 5 series out of their deck, and once they play the next Mysterious Challenger, you're just gonna do the same thing again. So I don't know the actual win rates between them, but I think that Priest has the better chance of winning, as long as the Paladin doesn't get insane curves like turn 2 mini bot, or turn 1 coin mini bot, turn 2 mini bot, turn 3 muster for battle. Priest will usually win that matchup. And then just the mid-range and control versus the Paladin. Priest wins anyway. With the introduction of Entomb, Priest has begun to trump any control matchup. They have ways to deal with all their big threats. Just playing, like, you cannot play Tyrion in the control Paladin versus control Priest matchup. You just can't, because they're just going to entomb you. Entomb it, and then you have to deal with Tyrion afterwards. And Paladin does not play silence cards, so as soon as Priest drops Tyrion, you're forced to deal with a 5/3 weapon, plus a 6/6 Divine Shield taunt, and you just can't deal with it. So you have to hold this Tyrion until late game, hoping that the Priest, not to mention they run 2 entombs, they have to entomb one thing, and they just have to use both of them. Or they entomb one thing and you hope that they don't have the second one right away. So I believe Priest just beats Paladin right out flat. Moving on to Warlock. Warlock might just be Priest's most difficult class to deal with, that only being Handlock and maybe Reno Lock. With the introduction of Reno Jackson, many decks are moving into this late game curve of playing a bunch of 7 and 8 drops. You play some early game to deal with some creatures, and you play Reno Jackson to go back to 30. And then if you're playing against an opponent that has an aggro deck or a mid-range deck, you will just beat them out late game. Especially if you're playing as Elise Starseeker and you want to just go through your deck, get the Golden Monkey, and then you're basically going to win late game. So Priest probably has the hardest matchups versus Reno Lock and Handlock. Handlock being they have way too many threats to deal with. The only real card that helps is Light Bomb. You don't really want to entomb a mountain or a Molten Giant. You'd much rather go for like Mal'Ganis or something like that. Just don't have any good entomb targets in Handlock. And Zoo you have a really good, easy way of dealing with your many board clears. Moving on to Shaman, Priest just outright beats Shaman. The only good deck that Shaman has now is the Smork deck with the new Trog. Where are we at? Where's Shaman at? Yeah, Tunnel Trog that gets the plus attack with Overload. Priest would just be able to heal everything up. Because Shaman is not a class that bursts from 30, it's a class that bursts from about 2017, 2022, and you will always be at above around 25 as Priest in this matchup, with your 1 and 2 drops, Zombie Chow, Museum Curator, all that, and then into Dark Holes or something like that. You just have really good matchup versus Shaman, since no one plays this thing. No Murloc Shaman. I actually really like this Rumbling Elemental. Wish that more Shamans would play it, but alas they don't. On the Druid, I really don't know much about this this Egg Druid. You know, you're playing Nerubian Egg, you're playing Dragon Egg, you're playing Soul of the Force. Don't know how that matchup works, but I believe Priest should have enough wave. I call it wave clear because I play League too much. They should have enough board clear to deal with anything that the Druid puts down. They might have a problem with combo Druid because for some reason Druids always have combo in their hand. They always have a way to get around taunts. They always have combo Innervate, Savage Roar, dealing 22. Not only that, they might Living Roots one turn and then combo down the next turn for the extra 6 damage. Very hard to deal with, but I believe it could be possible with as many taunts as you can put up in Priest, whether it be Sludge Belcher, Worm Rest Agent, all that. And then Ramp Druid, no one really plays Ramp Druid anymore, they just play combo. Scenarios isn't played, Ancient of War really isn't played, so no. Controller, the only is the only warrior deck that actually matters. I know Curse Blade is kind of getting some attention, but I just don't think it's going to be good. Aggro Warrior will probably never work just because of how the hero power works. The hero power is not aggressive enough to really put you in a good spot, and Sir Finley Murgleton just doesn't have the right consistency. I mean, if you're able to get life tap every time off of Sir Finley, sure, aggro decks that aren't meant to be aggro, or aggro classes that aren't meant to play aggro might be good. Just with life tap, just of how broken that hero power is. Unfortunately, they just can't work. But yeah, Control Priest and Control Warrior, you're always going to win because Control Warrior only has a certain amount of threats, and then they will probably die in the fatigue. You're going to entomb everything. You can even steal Cabal Shadow Priest. You can take their Armor Smith, and you can even gain more armor, right? And then I probably saved the most, aside from what was the class? Aside from Warlock, I think Mage has really good matchups versus Priest, especially Freeze Mage. If the Priest isn't running Justicar or many Flash Heals, Freeze Mage is super good against Priest. You just Alshraz them turn 8. What are they going to do? They have to deal with the Alshraz, they heal themselves, and then they just won't have enough men to do that. They're going to play Death, they're going to play BGH 3 down to 5 or 6 mana, and then they can, Holy Nova for 2, or they can heal themselves for 2, or they could Flash Heal for 5, but not many priests are running Flash Heal. And then Tempo Mage, it depends on how Tempo Mage draws. It's a very it's a very starting hand heavy deck as to does the deck win or not. If it opens up Mana Worm into Sorcerer Apprentice to do a really good curve, then it's really good. If it doesn't, then it just falls flat on its face. But yeah, the reason I thought about this video was there was a Reddit comment actually yesterday, or a Reddit post yesterday about how good Paladins were, and something I reinforced it by saying, I can't believe priests aren't that good. People don't think it. But yeah, if Priest gets a card that lets him armor up or something, they are probably the best class in the entire game without a nerf. And even if they don't, I think they just have a 85% win rate against everything, in total. They're just really good. If you guys want to check out my stream, it's twitch.tv/Rutois2. I should be making some content later on. I just wanted to try out this video again. Wasn't too big in YouTube anymore, and now I would like to really make a video again. Just ranting my thoughts. I don't play Hearthstone that often, but I usually play it when I'm dead in Town of Salem, something I love to do. So if you'd like to follow, twitch.tv/Rutois2, and then if you wanted to follow, sub on YouTube, it's youtube.rutois2 or whatever. Just press that subscribe button. Don't know when I'll make a video again, but thanks for hearing me out, guys. But take Priest in the ladder and dominate with it. It's just super good if you have all the cards that you need. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Rutois2 out.